All right. Welcome back to the Roundball podcast. We got myself, Jordan Bohannon, Hunter Dickinson, and our guy Dukes. Don't all jump out at me. I'm a hero. I know I'm a hero. I don't know what else you want. Hey, if I'm in, you guys are getting into a fight on the court. You want me there or what?
No, I still want you on.
I want you right behind me all fucking day. Right behind me.
Hey, it felt good. A little frustration.
Whoa.
I said it.
Pause.
No pause. I said it.
I love that. That's my guy right there. Let me tell you something. People forget, boys. Counterterrorism right here. I was trained. Worked there for a year. I was trained for it.
We preluded this when we mentioned the House of Cards security guard.
Facts and House of Cards and the House of Cards security.
We preluded this.
Do you think that you could, for people that don't know, Marty absolutely bodied these people that came into our office today in the Barstool office?
He's a hero.
Bodied. Yeah.
Yeah, smart of you to say that because I was like, imagine you're just a college basketball fan and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Like we had some intruders at the office today, and the Mush stock is at an all-time high. This is it's like all the way up.
You know what's the worst? The worst type of people, they'll be like, I'll get tagged in the tweets like, man, I still fucking hate the guy, but you got to respect it. You don't got to say you hate me. You don't have to tell me that you don't like me.
You got to make sure that's in there.
Yeah, you don't have to throw it in there.
What's the thing? Like nothing good is said before but.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like everything matters after the but.
Yeah, 100%. But it was crazy. I was doing a show. It was mid-show too. It wasn't just me chilling there. And our security guard had to take out 3 people. It's 3-on-1. I fucking went out there, tried to help him. This place is crazy. It's Monday morning. What the fuck is going? Like, what a loser. First of all, I'm not even gonna say his name. He's a fucking loser coming in here saying shit about like Francis made fun of Tucker Carlson or something.
He's a grown man.
Yeah, grown man. Like, I'll wear a hat with a suit as a joke. He's doing it for being serious. But yeah, that was the drama at Barstool this morning. I want to just recap real quick of my experience at Rutgers. I went to Rutgers Seton Hall. I love Rutgers. Let's start with that. The actual fucking place. I understand the Gypsy Rim shit. It's so loud in there. It's insane. That rack is the real home court advantage, but that was the worst basketball game I've ever watched in my life.
The curse.
They had more turnovers than shots attempted.
Yeah,
it
was a bad game.
What was the final score? 49-47?
45-43.
45-43?
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I hammered the fucking under in that game. I knew it was going to be a bloodbath, but that's ridiculous. 40 game in the 40s? That's not even basketball.
Seton Hall.
I know. For a guy that plays for Iowa, man, they get 40 at halftime.
Yeah. They get 40 at the first TV timeout.
Wasn't your game 40-something there, Jordan?
Yes. And that's where the bullshit foul came into play.
You guys played the same thing, though, right, last year? I'm not even making fun of you.
Yeah, that was no. It was 40. I think it was 48-46 we lost.
It was a bad game.
No.
And after the game, like, Rutgers, like, obviously was down. Like, they were fighting with each other a little bit. Rutgers going to be completely fine at home. Like, they'll be fine. They beat Indiana already. But it was just a weird game. I want to shout out the Rack. They gave me full access for everything. I can't wait till Hunter plays there, and I can't wait till you play there. I want that whole student section maybe just going after you. They're nuts.
What are you wearing red, or are you gonna support Hunter?
I don't know. I'm gonna see how Hunter's treating me by February. Oh, come on. Was my tweet good, by the way? I tweeted about the fight. I said maybe they'll have me back as security.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was about to mention that.
Shout out Rhea. Rhea told me that one.
Dude, you didn't have to tell anyone that. You could have just taken credit.
No, I'm being truthful. Yeah. I got to give her credit. She was good. That was a good joke. But yeah, so Rutgers loses, but Rutgers beats Indiana. That's a fucking wild part. But let's clap it up for Hunter. First place. Tied for first place in the Big Ten.
Tied for first place, yes, sir.
Well, I mean, they played.
Hey, I think that for Michigan, that was
another team played a bottom level team in the Big Ten and went to overtime with them.
Who?
What?
Wait, no. Are you calling Wisconsin bottom tier?
No, I was talking about Purdue and Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
We have to talk about this. Courtney Green fucked the shit out of them. Lube. That was disgusting. He should be suspended, incarcerated. He should be in jail for what he did to Nebraska. Please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was out of commission.
My dad feels the same way, Jordan. He thought that Nebraska got screwed out of that game.
Yeah. So listeners that didn't watch the game, the point guard Purdue dribbled it down. I think it was a 1-point game at the time with 20 seconds left. Nebraska forced him to speed up his dribble. He lost control of the ball, fell down, barely any contact, lost the ball. Nebraska would have had a 4-on-1 fast break. Ultimately to go up in the game, late in the game at Nebraska. Courtney Green fucked me, fucked Keegan Murray, fucked Connor McCaffrey, fucked the entire Iowa program last year at Rutgers and just did it again at Nebraska. Purdue should not have won that game. That should have been Nebraska's game to win. I feel awful for Hoiberg and Nebraska fans.
Shout out to Nebraska. I mean, to be in that game and should have won, like that's – what's his name? Who's the shooter?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Amanaga.
He's fucking electric. That man sees no shot he doesn't like. He will
no shot.
He's always so happy too. He's always smiling.
He's always smiling.
He is always smiling. Bro, don't let him make a three. The next time he touches it, going up no matter what.
Yo, speaking of 3-pointers, it was did you guys see during the Iowa State game, Jordan, who was the guy on Iowa State where they were down like 20 and he's like, don't let me get hot.
Kalsher.
Yeah, he was like, don't let me get hot because he made 1 3-pointer. The next one, he just bricked off the top of the backboard.
Yeah, hit the top of the backboard. I've never seen him more. That same dude, he shot like 50% from 3 his freshman year in Minnesota. And ever since then, now he's shooting like 22% from 3. It's actually disgusting how he's been shooting. I feel bad for the kid.
I want to bring this conversation into the Big Ten refs in a whole because the Big Ten refs right now, I don't know if I could be completely wrong. They only ref the Big Ten, right?
No.
I think
they don't.
No. Some ref out of conference, yes. Majority of them stay in Big Ten.
Yeah, I think the majority.
Okay, let's just say for now the Big Ten refs in a whole. The Rutgers-Ohio State game, they missed 4 calls in one way. The clock started late after a pass and a dribble. That's a lot of time. The guy with the ball likely stepped out. The guy who caught the ball stepped out and came back in. You can't touch the ball first when you do that. And then the 4th one, I forget what the 4th one was, but they missed 4 calls in one thing and didn't say nothing. And then they came out like, yeah, we fucked up. Like, we missed 1 call. Like, would you, as a team, would you rather, like if it's happened to you, probably has happened to both of you, would you rather them say, like, we fucked up? Because what does that do? It does nothing.
Yeah.
And no one no one's going to care about the ref's statement. Everyone remembers Ohio State winning that game and winning in it. Like, they don't give a fuck about the ref statement.
Yeah. I mean,
you guys okay?
I think maybe like
I was waiting for Hunter to go.
You can always hold that grudge and be like, even they knew we should have won. But I don't know, like everybody always wants to say like the refs, like you shouldn't leave it up to the refs and stuff like that. Like, you know, you should have like beat them earlier in the game and stuff like that. But I don't know. That is a tough way to lose, man. That's a tough way to lose. It's a tough way to lose.
So what are we talking about? Are we going back to the Nebraska-Purdue game, or are we talking about Ohio State?
No, Ohio State, I think.
I'm just saying, like Big Ten, like just refs in general saying, like when they come out and say they fucked up, like we missed the call, like does that even matter?
I'd rather them not even say anything and something happened to them personally, like not violently.
You hope they stub their toe or some shit.
Well, that too, but I want them suspended. I want getting paid their paycheck from that game to get diminished. Like something needs to happen. I had people in my tweets. I was tweeting about the Purdue-Nebraska game and how they fucked up. And everyone's like, they said the same thing. Oh, they should have won it earlier. Like they had 6 chances to make a shot the possession before. And like refs do have accountability. Like you just don't know it with closed doors. I'm like, yo, I played 6 years in this league. They have no fucking accountability. They'll come out with a statement and they'll say, Hunter won't say this because he's in the league, but I'll fucking say it because they have no fucking accountability. They do whatever they want. They won't have paycheck. They won't have any suspensions. They'll have their head dog of the – I don't know if Rick Boyages is still the head of officials.
No, it's Tom something, I think.
Okay, well, Rick Boyages was awful, first off, so that's probably why they went so far downhill with these Big Ten officials. But there's nothing that happens to these fucking officials. Everyone wants to say there's some sort of accountability. The coaches can't say anything. They get fined if they talk about the officials. I've been privately reprimanded by university for speaking on officials when I was a player last year, and they said the suspensions will come if I continue to talk about it. So players can't talk about it. I mean, who the fuck? Why are they so fucking protected?
You know what? You bring up a good point. You really do. Why is if you guys say something or fuck up, do something bad, you're held accountable. A coach is held accountable. To the ref, they do one statement. It's like, okay, they're okay. Who cares about them? Like, why? They should have a little bit, or just be suspended or something. I agree 100%.
And
yeah, Hunter, don't say anything.
Yeah, Hunter will get in trouble. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just think they're way too. First, there's so much money on the line to begin with. Not only like coaches' salaries and everything to begin with, but now you can gamble on these fucking sports. I'm not saying, but this is like a fucking $1 billion business basically now, and it already was before sports gambling. Like, there has to be some sort of accountability held for these officials, and for people to say like one call doesn't impact games when it's a late game like that Nebraska-Purdue game, that 100% means way more than a missed couple calls in the first half and the second half. It comes down to you should be able to have 100%. Obviously, they're humans. They're going to make mistakes, but 95 to 100% of the calls late game need to be correct, and the Big Ten officials are not even close to that happening after these last couple weeks.
I also think that because the argument of saying, oh, you should have won it early, you should just beat them you don't need the ref. Like, it's a fucking basketball game. The refs are part of the game. They just are. And Rutgers, again, Seton Hall, I don't know if you saw it, but like the last play, Seton Hall stepped out as well when they had the ball. But like that one, maybe you should have just played better a little bit. That one I could maybe say. But like, I don't know. You're right. I agree. I think the refs need a little accountability. And like, why? See the Ohio State instance. Why can't they just why can't they look at that after the game and then redo it? I know it's stupid, but like, why can't they? That's just
what do you think? Do you like when refs come out and they say we fucked up, like from like a gambling perspective?
No.
There's no way you say yes to that.
No, yes, because I get to fucking know I could hate that guy and like make content out of it.
I say yes. I love the closure. I love being like, you know what, things.
At least, yeah, I kind of like the closure as a game. Like, it wasn't my fault. I was right.
Yeah, exactly. The whole gambling is an ego thing more than a money making thing. Like, you want to be like, I was right, you were wrong. Like,
I mean,
if I was actually on the team, I'd be like, I don't really give a fuck. But when I'm gambling, I'm like, see, I was on the right side.
Yeah, but maybe these refs are gambling too, and they're basically laughing at you, Dukes, because they won the money and they took the money. They basically took your bank account and brought it to theirs.
But first of all, I am the reason why was a rule change in college basketball. after the shot is made, or they'll go back and actually look if it was good or not. But like in an instance like Ohio State, like, why do you think it's crazy for them to like, okay, he was out 10 different times, let's change it? Is that crazy to say?
I do think the one thing I will say with that, I do think you should be able to challenge a play. Like there should be a way for a team to be able to challenge a play and
instead of a whole team just going like this.
Some plays aren't reviewable. Like, you can only review it like at a certain time, like at the end of the game. Like, there are some calls where it's like that could be game changing. Like, if a player picks up his third foul in the first half and like for whatever reason, there's a missed call or something, they should be able to challenge that, because that can swing the whole game right there.
And you can do that in the G League. That's a rule they added. I don't know if it's this year or last year. So I've seen it firsthand, like in basketball, how it's done. Like it's been working. I can't comment on the officials in the G League, but there's a lot of challenges going on with
this guy just wants to comment on refs anywhere he goes.
He fucking hates refs.
Fucking Big Ten G League. He can't help it.
I told myself I was never going to do that.
I have a take about the Ohio State game. I actually get how the refs missed that call. Do you guys? Like I like.
Oh no!
I
know because
there's three fucking guys in stripes. I think they're on the court. How do you miss it?
I get the point of view, and this is why I'm not a ref. But I was watching, and I was like, "Ooh, I would have missed that also." Like it wasn't like a clear like getting hacked going to the rim or something. It was like,
well, he was clearly out of bounds.
Yes, he was clearly out of bounds. I'm just saying, if I was running up, I wouldn't even.
The guy who's catching it too. The guy catching out of bounds.
The guy that hit the game winner is the one. Like,
yeah,
how do you miss that?
But the thing is, I agree with Hunter. It should be challenged because obviously these refs are human. They're not going to see every single fucking thing. But shouldn't just only be up to them. Your coach should. I think we need challenge flags. I love challenge flags. We should have a challenge to something. Throw it out there. Like I love seeing that.
Challenge chicken, like have a plastic chicken you throw out, rubber chicken.
Yeah, something crazy. But I just think that a ref shouldn't have the final say if the coach uses challenger, like that's like the strategy part of using challenges is also awesome for coaches. I don't know. I think the Big Ten refs have had a tough go as of late.
Even I will say though, I don't think I could ever be a ref because my mind wanders so much throughout the game. Like I could never see the travel calls that the refs see.
Your mind wandering.
I'd probably be one of the worst refs ever. Like
do
they do have a tough job. I will admit they do have a tough job.
I think Hunter, no joke. I think sometimes you don't even know you're playing in a basketball game.
I'm telling you, Marty. That's why I do what I do.
No, and that's why I think you're good. I think when your asshole clenches, that's when you'll be more like not good. You when you're just playing loose and like you think you're just fucking chilling, like I think you don't even know you're in a college basketball game. You're just like, I'm here, I'll fucking play, I guess.
So the more gaping his asshole is, the better.
Yeah, as much things he can fit in his ass, he's a better basketball player.
Dude, I couldn't even. I couldn't ref. I remember like reffing like 6th grade basketball and like rigging the game. Like I remember like just completely like missing a call. Like it was like the best comeback I've seen in like sports history, and I just like completely rigged a call so I could see the comeback complete.
Well, yeah, because refs are human, so it's like there's a human aspect to reffing. It's like it's so true about like a team that has momentum. Like the ref is gonna like either like let them get away with like being extra aggressive if like they're on like a 10-0 run or something like that. Because it's like there's the human element to it where it's like there's judgment and you have like there's different judgment within different like the different humans that are reffing it.
Yeah, no, I mean the refs are just the ref is no one's ever gonna be like, man, that ref's what a great game he reffed, and no one cares. Like they are only gonna get penalized and scrutinized over just the bad calls. And I'm not feeling bad for him because it's fun to hate refs. Like that's half the reason I gamble is to yell at the ref. It's just a fact. And it's just fun to do it. Like Roger Ayers is a fucking slick back grease ball, and he should.
I like Roger, man. Roger's a good guy. Roger's a good guy.
Roger Ayers, literally. I mean, that's the reason. Go watch the video. You'll know why.
Oh, I've watched that video a couple times.
Yeah,
he's also.
I know. I think I should. He's also a hooah for the TV. He loves to be on televised games, nationally televised. But that's besides the fact. Let's get in a little basketball. Well, first of all, Chris Beard choked somebody, and
people are talking about this, unlike Jim Boeheim.
Hey, and Beard didn't kill him.
Yeah, right. He didn't even kill someone. And
joking aside. Beard, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like if you're getting arrested at 4 o'clock in the morning, something probably happened. I don't believe that he was just innocent. I don't know all the facts. No one knows the whole story, so we can't comment on anything. But I will say, maybe that's why Goodman wouldn't give us a guest.
He was looking out for us. He was looking out for us.
So shouldn't Goodman be in jail too?
I mean, he didn't come. He saw us talking about him. He didn't say a word.
Right.
he retweeted the video.
He did?
Or he liked it or retweeted it. One of the
two.
Yeah, because he knew we were right. Milking bastard.
He's fucking drinking his milk.
Do you guys know who John Fanta is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
The best. We're having him on. I don't care what you guys
Really?
say.
You like him?
Did you hear his final call last night on the Seton Hall Rutgers game?
No, I interviewed him right
said
after. What happened?
He said, "In a sea of red, the blue rises." I was like, "Oh my god, this guy is unreal."
He's Shakespeare.
Electric. We
I
called
feel
him
bad.
last year.
Now I feel bad. I didn't know he was this good of a guy. I declined an interview from him.
Oh, he's one of the best guys. Like
No joke, the best guy. Like he's so nice.
I don't really like anybody in college basketball media but him.
I might send him a personal DM after this and apologize.
We'll have him. No. We'll have him on the. We're gonna have him on soon, and you can talk to him. I want you to do it face to face. But he's like, I went up to him right after the game. I was just gonna dap him up. He just started. He's like, "You want to interview me? Let's do this. I want to talk about it." I'm like, "All right, let's go." I have a video coming out soon. But we FaceTimed him last year to ask him a question about the Big East. He was just taking a shit, and he answered, and he just did it while taking a shit. He's unbelievable. But yeah, so Chris Beard, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be so surprised he'd be an angry drunk. I'm going to leave that at that. I don't know.
I'm not going to make a comment either. But I'll say if you type in Chris Beard, the first tweet is Chris Beard looks like a guy who gets in fist fights at Little League games.
Can we that's
not saying anything.
Yeah, it's not, that was just a tweet I saw.
Credit to us not saying it. Do you not want to say something, Jordan?
I hate to say this because I fucking love Dickie Vitale, but he tweeted something today saying, talking about waiting for all the whole story to come out with the Chris Beard incident, which is true. Like, don't rush to assumptions. But also, he's in a state where you don't get arrested unless there's a warrant for assault. So he obviously there was assault.
There was an incident at his house.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He was arrested for a reason.
Yeah. It could have been a drunk fight that got taken.
He wasn't charged. He was actually arrested.
Yeah.
Did you see the tweet that Marty quote tweeted though?
Which one?
The lawyer.
It was from his lawyer. It was like,
that's what I'm saying. He's completely innocent. I'm like, yeah, you think so? The lawyer's gonna say that.
Which I hope maybe I don't. I mean, if there was assault, I hope he does time. But
it was I
don't think he'll be doing much time.
Coach Beard is 100% innocent of these charges. He should have never been arrested. The complainant wants him released immediately and all charges dismissed. It is truly inconceivable.
They did pay him a lot of money to be a coach.
That's what I'm saying. How much pressure? Let's say it's true. How much pressure would Texas have to go under for them to fire him?
They have to fire him. If everything is true, they have to fire him.
Well,
bro, they played it.
No, I can't wait. Jordan, please say what you're about to say.
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
I mean, there was an assault that happened within the Big Ten last year, and
that's not where I thought you were going. No.
Okay.
Wait. No. What are you referring
somewhere else with that?
Private chat it if you have to.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. No.
Are you talking Michigan, Wisconsin?
He was provoked.
Yeah, but that's
still assaulted someone.
That's still completely different.
Self-defense.
That's in the game. That's not at home. Fucking. Also,
anything that happens on the basketball court, you can't be charged with it.
This guy or girl, whoever it is, I don't know who he choked, couldn't breathe. That's what it came out as. Wait,
Hunter actually brings up a good point. I want to discuss this real quick. How you can hit people in sporting, when you're playing sports and stuff, and is there a protective bubble around when you're in a court and field?
Nope. Look at Michigan State in football. The Michigan State guys are reaching felony charges.
Yeah, but that's off the field.
It's off the field. That's not.
Yeah, but it's in the stadium.
Look at Miles Garrett.
I'm saying in the game.
Look at Miles Garrett. Hit him with a helmet, a weapon on the field during the game. Yeah. Off the field's different.
I have the biggest Miles Garrett conspiracy of all time. I mean, there's a reason that didn't get criminal charges. That's all I'll say. If you don't think that they had microphones around there and know exactly what was said.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said
I thought that too.
What about the Malice in the Palace? Those guys never got charged, right?
No. Because no one.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's my point.
I agree. On the court, nothing happens to you.
That's crazy, though. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah. It's also funny that hockey just gets a 5-minute penalty.
Yeah. You know what? Jim Boeheim should have did it on the court. All right, I'm done. I'm not making those jokes every year. I'm done.
All right.
One of his sons is going to DM you one of these days.
I play him tonight.
You play him tonight?
Wait, you play in Michigan?
What?
Do you play here in Detroit?
Oh.
No, I play against Detroit at home.
Now that's
what a game, Jordan. What a game.
What?
I said I would have come to the game.
Oh, okay.
This would be fun. Imagine he's like, yo, can you stop telling people that I killed the guy at the foul line?
What if he challenges you to a duel, like a one-on-one?
Well,
hey, let me tell you, I look up your minutes. You're getting some more minutes.
I know. I should play quite a bit tonight. I'm excited.
14 minutes last game?
Oh, yeah. 2 threes.
2 for 3?
3 rebounds.
Who's the best player in the G League?
Don't make me Joey Baker. You keep shooting that fucking ball.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna chuck it. Who's the best player in the G League?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Joey Baker's getting aggressive.
Shreve Cooper's been hooping.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Let
he
me
had like
tell you,
42 on us.
If Jordan gets to the NBA and then he doesn't say something on an interview,
I'm not like the dude over here to the left. The thing is, he hasn't won any big games, so like he hasn't had the opportunity to.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There's one coming up in 2 games. One after Lipscomb.
2 games.
Yo, Jordan, I saw you had I saw yesterday you had a complaint. I wanted to talk to you about this. I saw you were talking about at the end of the Iowa-Wisconsin game when you guys forced overtime. Someone was like talking about how Fran McCaffrey took a technical and how it was like so dumb of him to take a technical in that moment of time. Those are the worst types of people.
They don't understand basketball at all.
But you guys went on an immediate run right after.
Yeah.
I'll say it because I'm an unbiased, non-Iowa player. When your coach gets a tech, when it's a rifle tech, like when you really think the refs are just hosing you guys and like you guys aren't getting calls, and the coach just goes berserk, that does fire me up. That fires the players up for sure. It does. It really does.
And the worst part is they're like, oh, well, it kind of cost them the game. Like, it cost them 2 points. Like, 1, they went on a run. And 2, you don't even have any ability to say what could happen if that technical didn't happen because it did happen.
Dude, that's the worst is when they're like, well, they could use those 2 points. And then, like, towards the end of the game when the 2 points might matter, it's like, well, we could have used those.
Yeah, well, they could have hit a 3 in the first half.
Like, and, like, who the fuck cares if you lose by 12 or 2? You lost the game.
Also, bring it from a fan standpoint. You love when your coach gets a T for the right reason. You love it. And also, there is bad text, though. There is some that there's also some that are like you literally taking your team completely out of the game. But Fran's, I thought, was very warranted, and it made sense.
Mm.
And if you get a tech like that, usually like they're gonna give you the next call, like a ticky-tack call. They're usually gonna give you a ticky-tack call for sure.
Which is why refs are the worst. Again. But Seth Davis, all just randomly decides to go after Fran, says bad look. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, who the fuck are you calling out?
I wish somebody defended me the way you defend Fran, Jordan.
I would defend you.
Thank you.
You're
over there liking other people's memes about me.
Okay, no, I quote tweeted the one with you and Colby because we talked about that like 2 weeks ago on the episode.
I think there's been at least 1,000 tweets of that meme.
I want to get to Illinois in a second, but Hunter, I got you back all the ways, right?
Yeah. No, dude, I got you. It was all fun games, but I got you back.
I know.
What was I about to say? I want to shout myself out because, Jordan, let me tell you, when you're intent here and you fight with people, this is the J-Bo I wanted. This is unbelievable. Keep fighting with people out there. Bring attention. Let's go. Let's fucking blow this shit.
I'm tired of being shy. I'm done being shy. Not shy Jordan.
Cares what people? Yeah, no shy Jordan. And Hunter's been stepping up. I will give Hunter a lot of credit too.
Thank you.
So shout us all out again. But now this, Illinois, you're a bunch of pussies. You are the biggest loser fan group in the world. Jordan, what did I say? The first episode, I was like, Illinois' Final Four team. I love Illinois this year. I've only said good things about them, but they hold on to one thing. You guys are the biggest pussies in the world. I want to go to Illinois when Hunter plays you so he dummies you. Because you guys, there's 165 comments on our Twitter. That's too many. You then lost to Penn State outright at home. You
They're
can't
so
be doing
sensitive.
that.
The funny thing is we literally talk about on the show and on Twitter like how they're a bunch of pussies on Twitter and how they respond to people. And they literally prove it on the fucking text chain.
And I actually enjoy.
I love it when other Illinois fans see it. Though I love seeing the comments about like Illinois fans checking their own people and be like, "This is why people say stuff about us."
Yes, they like fight with each other. Because listen, I love a loyal fan base. I love crazy fan base people. I really do. But they're so irrational. I almost love it 10 times more. But Illinois, you proved everything we said about you because we said nothing about the basketball team. I think the basketball team's good. I think it was just a bad spot they had at Penn State. Like Penn State shot the lights out, whatever. We said everything good about the team. I think you're going to win the Final Four, and you're still fighting with us. Still. You guys are fucking losers.
The funny thing is, I piggyback off what we were saying, and then I'm like, we were talking about the press conference of Coach Underwood. And I'm like, honest question. I was being serious. Would you rather have a coach like this or a coach that backs the players no matter what? And I was being a dead ass like question. So and I don't know if they're just fucking attacking me for no reason.
So that's what I want to talk about next because that's a very good question because I have an answer for what I like as a coach, but you guys actually play. So when you, as a player, both of you, go out there, you play, you get shit on, and your coach just says you guys played the worst game. He blames everything on you guys. Do you like that? Does it fire you up? Or do you think that he should take the blame no matter what and address you guys in the locker room?
I'll say this. Coach McCaffrey would never, ever do that. But I'm not saying there's a right and wrong situation here. Mm-hmm. I think now that I've played professional basketball, I would like to have a coach, now that I'm being paid to play, to have a coach be like Underwood because we're making money now and this is our job technically. When you're in college, your coach is being paid millions of dollars a year for them to do exactly what they should be doing. So in that aspect, as a college coach, I feel like you should be putting the blame on yourself, in my opinion.
I mean, for me, Jordan brought up a good point about like, in college, it's different because it's like the coach is getting paid, the players aren't, and like in the professional ranks, the players are getting paid more than coaches. I know sometimes I know for Jawan, he's always gonna take all the blame. Like even if it's 100% our fault, he's always gonna take the blame. And I mentioned that in my post-game interview when we lost to Arizona State. Like he was trying to take the blame for the game, and I'm like nah, this is 100% on us. Like he wasn't out there just giving up 60% point field goal from the other team and stuff like that. Like that game was 100% on us. So I went out there and was like I don't want him to try to take the fall for this because this one is on us. Like this is on the players. And so I guess you just have different coaches who have, different philosophies and that kind of thing. But, I agree with Jordan's point where it's like college. I think that the coach should probably take, the blame because he's the one that's getting paid and the players aren't.
And there's nothing wrong with that too. Like I want to make that known. Like Coach McCaffrey's the same way as Drawn is. Like he'll take the blame no matter what, and that's why I respect the fuck out of him now because of all the bad games players had at Iowa. He still took the blame.
That's hard, man.
Yeah. So as a fan wise, I look at it because from the one side, they played like dog shit, and he also said we had the two worst practices they had. Like you don't know what's going on in their practices. He went a little overboard, I think, he pressed on it too much, like he motherfucked his team, because you still need to have that locker room controlled in your favor. You don't want your kids hating you. And when he farted into the mic, being this Terrence, is he still a leader? That's never good. I think he might want, but I also understand at some point maybe you just got to be look, it's them. They're fucking don't give a shit anymore. It might fire them up. It could go either way. It could fire them up or they're going to really hate you. And it seems like Underwood is really respected there and he's obviously a good coach. So maybe that's what he just felt like he needed this team because he knows the talent there. I think Illinois is hearing the talent. I don't think they're hearing about I think they're hearing like they're reading the press clippings about their team too early. You agree or no?
I think they're capable of a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Coach Underwood
For
is a
sure,
really good coach.
that they are like they think their talent alone is going to get them there, but sometimes they'll do a dud just like Penn State, and that's why he went after them.
Yeah, but that's Big Ten basketball. Like you're gonna have those dud games.
But that one's tough.
Penn State's also one of the oldest teams in the country too. So that was not.
They're the oldest.
Yeah, they are the oldest team.
That was the biggest downspout of all time. I think Penn State's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah.
After Illinois,
like beating Texas.
Illinois,
and Shrewsbury's a really, really good coach.
Yeah.
It's just at home. At home, it's just a tough loss. But I understand it is a look ahead game or whatever, letdown game. But I don't know. It's interesting to hear just as a player. But as a player, if your coach did that, do you think you'd get more fired up and like we're gonna improve this guy, or hate him?
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm saying there's no wrong answer. I do hate how he took 7.5 minutes to put the blame on himself. Like Illinois fans are like, oh, he put the blame on himself too. So like you can't have it both ways. Like you putting the blame on your players, or you're putting the blame on yourself. And the things that's really interesting too is they just come off a win against Texas. Like they clawed and fought the entire game. They showed leadership that game. That was just last week. So I didn't really understand the point. I thought it was an interesting time for Coach Underwood to make that point. But again, he's getting paid all this money. They have a really good team regardless. Illinois fans, you can fucking clip that. You guys have a good team. Stop being a bunch of pussies in my comments.
No, Jordan, they're going to be mad at you regardless of what you say.
Regardless, I don't understand. Like, what do we have to do?
Do you think that he was bad about the players?
Remember the Purdue clip? Everybody was getting mad about. I was saying how Zach Edey's just tall. I'm like, if you watch, oh man, if you watch the entire episode, we just praised Zach Edey for like 3 minutes.
But yeah, no, they don't. That's the thing. That's the best thing about the internet, though. You see one thing and you just freak out, but we know what you said, and if everyone ever looked at it, like, oh, he was just praising me. But this is Chris Beard's mugshot. Looks kind of happy. I want to bring up one more game, and we'll go over quick. Like, do you think Creighton is overrated? All this shit, but I want to talk about one game. I don't even. Did you guys know this game happened? So JMU played a School of the Blind.
Wait, what?
Wow.
No way. No, that can't be true.
I'm gonna look. Dudes, can you look it up for me real quick? JMU played a School of the Blind, and they won 106-43.
Gallaudet?
No, Gallaudet's the School of the Deaf. We used to play there because they're in DC, and so we would play, some of our playoff games at Gallaudet. They're deaf. They're not blind. Blind is a totally different thing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, I'm saying, like, you could play as
there says that deaf and blind is different.
I'm saying in terms of basketball, you can play as a deaf player. Blind,
but it's a lot harder.
Is deafness a real thing anymore? You can
yeah, it's a real thing, bro.
But no, Jordan's right though. Like, I feel like they have stuff now where you can hear.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm dead ass.
Well, I know you're not trying to be funny. That's why it's funny.
I think there's scientific breakthroughs, Jordan, happening that are allowing people to hear. That are
I'm just saying there's scientific breakthroughs.
We're in 2022, man. Stuff is happening all the time.
I agree, though. I'm with
you. I know, but just regardless, I think JMU's got to take a little easier. When you get to 80-40, let's slow it down.
Hey, JMU is really fucking good this year, though.
They took Virginia almost to the wire too.
They are kicking the shit out of teams.
They are beating
Yeah.
Let's go over some of these other games. Creighton. Do you think we jumped people jumped the gun on Creighton? That's a bad loss at BYU. It just is.
I saw that game at night at 10 p.m.
Back to back.
That was a trap game.
Trap game, yeah. I still like Creighton's chances of making the second weekend, but they are playing awful the last 2 weeks.
4 games in a row they lost.
Yeah. Is that 4 games now? That's the 4th game?
Yeah, Arizona, whatever. They lost by 2 to Arizona. That's whatever. Texas, again, whatever. But then Nebraska and BYU. BYU is not good.
That's a hard stretch, though, of games. That's a really hard stretch of games.
Yeah, you know what's not a hard stretch of games? South Dakota and Utah Valley. That's who BYU lost to the 2 games before Creighton.
Yeah, but BYU is a real team. Like those Mormon schools, like those guys are old. Like a lot of those guys are grown ass men.
They're all pent up.
They're Gonzaga's best competition in WCC.
Yeah,
and they're 6-5. They're not that good this year. They're not. Like they've lost to South Dakota, Utah Valley, fucking. They did beat Dayton. Someone's been really quiet on this.
What happened to them?
We lost 2 starters. We lost 2 starters.
What happened?
It sucks. We blew a 20-point lead that game too. Yeah, I'll speak honestly. BYU's not that good.
No, they're not.
They're not that good. Creighton's really down bad. Like I think this is. I was kind of like 2 weeks ago, like maybe the WCC has like 4 teams that aren't bad. Like I think that Portland's pretty good, but BYU's not what they were last year or 2 years ago. I think that but I do agree with Jordan's point. Like they are men, like they're old, they're mature. It's like it's not going to be surprising if they like get some wins, like some good wins under their belt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Creighton. I think they just got a lot of hype real early, just that they were going to be so good. But I kind of agree with Jordan that they'll be fine. There's a team that we haven't really talked a ton about. UConn. UConn's for real, bro. They got 2 fucking huge motherfuckers.
Dude, that freshman is so fucking good.
He's taller than the rim, just like standing up. He just is. Yeah, that guy. I watched that game because I bet on UConn -40. It was awesome. Betting the team -40 is one of the most exhilarating things.
-40?
Yeah, and they won 114 to 61.
Yeah, they won by 43.
Jordan, they're moving into Houston territory for me.
That's a game we're going to talk about next. But UConn is legit, bro.
UConn is legit. I think UConn might, if they do exactly what I think they will do in their conference, they'll be a -- 1 seed in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They don't have a weak spot.
No, they don't.
Like they have shooters, they have bigs. And you have like 2 bigs that do 2 different things and complement each other really well. Like Sonogo, we all know what he can do, but Clingan, this freshman, like he was one of these guys that like went to like Bristol, I think like a Bristol high school, didn't really played fucking a bunch of nobodies, didn't get invited to any of like the All-American shit because people were like, is he really that good? Is he just playing shitty competition? He's just fucking eating. He's so good.
Yeah, when I was watching, I was so impressed. They have shooter, they have everything, and they're deep too. They're just deep.
They could run the table in the Big East.
No, I'm saying right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But I mean, I feel like in the Big East,
yeah,
they're just due to have a couple upsets.
I think they'll like lose to a Providence.
I mean, fucking Georgetown won it. What, 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, in the tournament. Oh, that was crazy.
That was wild.
Dude,
so crazy.
There's this guy on UConn. It's like I want to say like Calcaterra. And he's just like a 3-point specialist. Goes in for 14, does not miss. Like I wouldn't be surprised if his season stats are 60% right now. He does not miss.
UConn is for real, and I want to shout them out because we haven't really talked about them too much.
They're really good.
I want to talk about you got to give respect to Alabama. Alabama went to Houston down for majority of the game, and they just were tougher. I love Quinterly. Quinterly is fucking awesome. I love him. Nate Oates, our old co-host, said he's the worst coach of all time. That's just another stupid take. But I think that Alabama deserves the credit. Listen, I also think that Houston's really good. That loss does nothing. It's 2 really good teams. Alabama got it. I'm not like, oh, Houston sucks now, but I don't think it's like Houston against everybody else this year. I think they're definitely beatable. Like you saw that, but I think it was coming to a point like, oh, Houston might not be beaten. You know,
that's what I thought. I thought they were going to run the table this year and be outright champs. No one was going to come close, but that game proved me wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were going to be undefeated going into the tournament. I mean, they'll still have the #1 seed, but And that was a gutsy win by Alabama.
Will they though?
They'll still be number one.
They're gonna have to win out. They're gonna have to go undefeated in the conference to get a 1 seed.
They're gonna win the AAC. I mean, Virginia's probably their last big test, right? Who else do they play?
I think Virginia's their last non-conference, isn't it?
That Virginia game,
yeah.
That game might be like 40-40.
But that's my point. If they don't beat Virginia, they're not going to be a 1 seed.
No. I think they still will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see them losing to anybody. Like they're not going to lose to Tulane.
They could lose to Memphis like once, like a humbling loss.
Memphis is playing because they had a good win, didn't they?
They had a good win. Yeah. Kendrick Davis played really well, but I don't know. I don't see them losing in that conference. I don't see it. But yeah, that game surprised me. I thought Houston was going to win. I didn't think there was any way Alabama was going to win, but they gutsy win.
Got to give credit to Alabama. They're playing really good basketball, and they're going to be a top 5 team. Where did they get ranked this week? Do you know?
Wait, well, I just saw now. What's going on?
Do you know where Alabama got ranked this week?
Dude, I was just talking to Jake Malasek, one of our coworkers who went to Virginia. He's talking about the AP poll means fucking shit to me. Like, I don't give a fuck where a team's ranked. Unless Dayton's 3. Then I'll just be like, that's the only thing that matters. But, like, seriously, like, I don't think – do you guys give a fuck about it? Like, as
you're talking about Houston, right, or Alabama? Which one?
Oh, Alabama.
Alabama's 4, Houston's 5.
No, I actually care. I think that just is a reason for us to talk about shit. Like the AP, it doesn't really mean anything, to be honest, to me. But it means to like I just respect. It's like they shouldn't be in that. They should be higher. It's just fun to talk about. I don't think it really fucking matters.
Like I think AP voters are the biggest fucking waste of space of all time. They don't even watch half the games.
Yes.
No, I agree with that. I mean, there's a reason why no AP voter knows anything about the Pac-12 because they go to sleep. That's just
yeah.
They don't. They're not watching this game. UCLA, they have a lot of players back. Let's put them fucking 18.
I do think UCLA is pretty good.
UCLA is good. I didn't mean that wasn't a ricochet shot. That was just like
that was unnecessary.
Yeah, it was.
We got to talk about Tennessee though. Tennessee Maryland played last night. That was like a second weekend game. It seemed like those two teams playing.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Both
I could totally see that being like a Sweet 16 game, Alabama versus Houston.
Yeah. No, Alabama. No, I'm talking about Maryland and Tennessee.
Oh.
I don't know if you watched the game, Hunter, but it was
good comeback.
It was a phenomenal basketball game. That's one of the best basketball games I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, so I was at the Rutgers game, so I didn't completely watch it, but I'm confused on Tennessee because Tennessee's obviously they're good. They had that loss to Colorado that was like, what the fuck's going on? Wasn't it Colorado? Second game of the season they lost.
Yeah.
But then they've been beating the shit out of team. They went to overtime with USC. They have some good wins though. But I saw some highlights and it looked like it was a fucking crazy game.
Yeah, Maryland got down like 17 early. Maryland came back in the second half. Tennessee really struggled to score the ball in the second half. That's where they have shooters. That's the thing. They have grown ass man on the team. They have tall guys down the low. They have lengths on the perimeter. Their point guard's like 6'7". And they have a shooting guard that shoots the shit out of the ball. That's where
– to win the OCC?
You did, right?
This guy.
I don't think they will. I think Arkansas will.
Looking really good right now. It's looking good.
I think Tennessee wins the SEC. They're a 1 seed, and then all of a sudden they're not in the second weekend.
Yeah, they do that every year. But I need to shout out Arkansas. They're fucking so good. Nick Smith Jr., and then Anthony Black as like your backcourt, and then you have what's his name, Council the Fourth or something. Then you got
you got a ton of guys.
I forget the other Walsh. Holy shit, these guys are deep and really, really fucking good. Nick Smith Jr. hasn't really even started like going yet. Like he's just a couple games in. Arkansas is, in my opinion, the best team. I think Kentucky's the third best team in the SEC.
I don't even think they're third.
Fourth, maybe. Fourth. I forgot about Alabama.
Yeah. Ooh, I think they're fourth. I honestly would have them fourth.
I think it goes – I'm a Arkansas, Tennessee, 1A, 1B, and then Alabama, Kentucky.
I think SEC is really good.
I think the SEC is the best.
I think SEC is really top-heavy, though.
Yeah, for sure.
No, they're not. SEC has, 9 teams in the top 70, 80 in net rankings.
I I say that because I was just thinking of Vanderbilt. How bad they are.
I don't know. Like,
You know what? I love that, Hunter, because I make takes off like one team sometimes.
I made that take strictly off one team.
Yeah, and I respect the shit out of that.
South Carolina, Georgia, Vanderbilt, like those
South
are
Carolina's
bad teams.
terrible.
Bad teams. But those top four are fucking. You don't want to play them at all.
Yeah.
Dude, even you could throw. Dude, I don't know. Then you're like thinking like I think Auburn's good. I think Mississippi State's good.
Auburn, yeah.
Dude, Mississippi.
I
State,
gotta shout out Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Brandon Walker. You're the one that was talking about how he's a big fan of Miss. They are fucking good.
I agree.
I watched them against Minnesota. They're gonna be really tough out.
Hunter, close your ears. Jordan, do you know that? How many games have they played?
9.
They're undefeated.
They're 9-0 and unders as well. They have unbelievable defense. They have not every under has hit. Their defense is crazy. You're good now.
I should have bet that last night. I did bet the Seton Hall Rutgers game under. That was so easy.
Brandon has told me. Brandon went to a practice. He goes, Mississippi State, take the under. They don't score a lot, but their defense is outrageous.
They're so athletic. So athletic.
All right, you're good, Hunter. But Mississippi State, yeah, they're a good team. Auburn, we haven't talked. They lost to Memphis. That's their first loss. They're getting the treatment of like, oh, are they kind of frauds? Have they played anybody? Whatever. I don't fucking know. I honestly, Auburn to me right now is like I need to wait till they play one of these SEC teams. I don't want to make a take on them yet.
Auburn will be fine. They're always how Pearl coaches. They'll be just fine.
You were right though about UNC, like UNC, Creighton, TCU, like all these teams that leave a good taste in AP voters' mouths. Like, you know what I'm saying? Going like, oh, that came across. Pause. Like TCU losing to Arizona in the tournament, and it's like they return all these guys. They ended the year really high. It's like, how good is TCU? How really good is Creighton? Like, I think Creighton and UNC are in the same exact bubble where they're good. They could potentially make a run, but they're definitely not top 5 teams. They're not top 10 teams.
They're not top 10 teams for sure. UNC, I mean, they didn't like put away Georgia Tech. Like the Georgia Tech's not great.
Georgia Tech sucks.
They're not good, and like they play at home. That win does nothing for me. That UNC, the next game is Hunter, and that's a big game for both of you.
It's a big game for us. We need that game.
UNC plays the Citadel. Oh, they play Ohio State before you. They do the Ohio State and Michigan.
We'll learn a lot about UNC here in the next couple weeks.
Do you think Baycott is like somewhat looking back to your interview and being like, "Fuck, that idiot Mike kind of nailed it."
Kind of right. Let's like,
I would definitely remember that if I came on a show and they predicted me like that.
Because we talked to him before they started playing, right? Or they had 2 games.
That was before season. That was preseason.
Yeah, so that's just funny to think about that. He probably has thought about me saying, like, why did that fucking idiot say that? Yes. What?
You're literally the downfall of the UNC program.
Also, Rutgers. I'm 0-2 when I go to Rutgers.
Yeah,
you got to definitely come to our game.
Talk about Gypsy Curse. Like,
I'm definitely coming to Michigan. I can't wait for that. I'm doing a video series of like who has the best home court advantage, and Rutgers was the first one. And I want to see. I'm going to go to Arkansas, Kentucky, and I want to see who else is next. So if you're listening to this, tweet at us saying who has the best home court advantage. I will go to a video. We may be going to Xavier as well. They reached out. I talked to I was DMing their basketball account. I have no idea who I'm talking to, but they said, please come, whatever. I was like, and they said red carpet. You tell me red carpet, I'll come anywhere.
On the red carpet?
Yeah, on the red carpet. I'll do it there. But yeah, that's the show. Hunter, I wanted to bring up one point. Who's the freshman that stepped up after Llewellyn got out?
Doug McDaniel.
He's fucking good. I don't want to I feel terrible for like him stepping up. You guys looked better with him in the lineup. I'm not saying that's because of I feel terrible for Jalen, but you got to call it as how it is. I know he played Minnesota, but him getting some confidence was you guys looked like a little bit of a different team.
Doug played really well. I think it was that, but also I think the other guys really stepped up in Jalen's absence. I think it was more of a collective effort for a team. I think everybody pitched in and did a little bit more than usual. Obviously, Doug played really well, but guys like Jet, Kobe, Kobe's going to have to play the one some now that Jalen got hurt. And so I think it was just a collection of guys, Joey Baker becoming more aggressive, Terrence Williams becoming more aggressive. I think it was a collection of
Did anyone in Minnesota say anything to you? Nothing?
Anyone on the team?
Yeah, like I'm always going to ask you, does anyone say anything about the podcast?
Yeah, do you ever chirp for the podcast?
No. Some people come up to me and like, "Yo, we love the podcast."
I've gotten that. I had Roundball.
I had G League assistant coach come up to me last game and said that he loves the podcast.
I'm going to tell you this is why we got to stop being PC. We're doing a good job. I'm going to pat ourselves on the back. Let's jerk each other's off. What? And let's just all, everyone in collectiveness.
Come on, Hunter.
Cool. Let's keep
do two for me.
Let's get some fucking guests going. I want people more interactive. Oh fuck, Champa. You stupid fuck.
Wait, before we get Champa, I do want to say Indiana.
Is Geo Baker right? Did you see his tweet, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm with Marty.
They've beaten Xavier at Xavier. That's it.
I said before the season they just don't have shooters. It's going to be the downfall against.
And also, Race Thompson ain't going to be shooting like that ever again.
Nope.
Against Arizona, he shot so well.
I knew that game was going to be tough for him. Arizona matches up really well.
Arizona was good. Losing Arizona is no problem, but Race Thompson was banging threes, and Miller Kopp was actually hitting threes.
He's been hitting threes. That's one thing that's the thing that shocks me about Indiana is I kind of thought he'd be the X factor. I was like, if he can hit down the shots, and
that's what I thought.
He has been, but
that's what I thought.
Trace didn't play well.
Yeah.
I knew Trace wasn't going to play well because of the way Arizona plays defense. They double team the post heavy, and so it's just a hard game for the 5-man to go off like that when they double team.
And
it's easy when you don't push it. When you push them right, it's pretty easy to win a game.
I was going to say, you think it's because they probably just made him go right?
They had a scouting report like, "Hey, don't let him go left."
No, they always double team the post. I remember that from last year when we played them. Oh my God! All these Arizona fans in my mentions talking about their big man strapped me. I'm like, if your team double teams me, you automatically have no say. You have no right to say opposing big man strap me if you double team me the whole game.
That's true. I'll give you that.
I think Arizona's. I don't know. I think they're. Do you guys? I think they're really good. I don't think that's like a loss.
No,
I love Tommy Lloyd. Tommy Lloyd is a great coach.
I'm just saying I'm with the Dot train because I thought Indiana was going to be unbelievable this year, and they are. I don't think they have what it takes to get in the Final Four. I'm sorry.
You know what? It's almost like if you return, just because you return players doesn't if they weren't that good the year before, it's not like they're going to be leaps and bounds next year.
Everybody overvalues
saying this.
Well, no, I actually this is going to sound crazy though. I do think experience does matter in tournaments.
It does.
Yeah, later when it's one game knockouts.
Exactly.
Name a team that's been like in a while who's won the tournament, who's been all one and dones. Kansas had they've had people. Who was before that?
That has one and dones?
No, who's the champion? Name of the past couple champions.
No,
Kansas didn't have they had.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It stopped in 2018.
Yeah, but who was before Kansas? Give me it.
Baylor
experience.
Virginia,
Villanova for 3 out of 4.
Villanova, Virginia, everyone had all these Kentuckys and Dukes, and the game has changed. There's always someone that has been around a little more.
Duke might have been the last.
Duke and 2015.
With Okafor.
But the thing is, they had Quinn Cook, who's been there for a while too. That time, so
one player.
I still think it plays a big part. I'm with Dukes, but I don't think Indiana's experience is gonna be.
I think we all could agree that
they're
Yeah,
but with Indiana, it's
the regular season.
What experience do they like?
They have no experience.
Indiana fans are gonna get mad at me. What experience do they really have?
None.
They have the experience of getting the shit kicked out of them by St. Mary's.
They also have no experience in the
tournament. I'll back Indiana. I will back Indiana. They played an absurd difference in game.
Yeah,
the first four to
about that
out
schedule,
west.
I was like, yo,
they played they probably got in early in the morning.
Yeah, they said like
there
was trouble with their plane and stuff like
that.
that.
Trey said there was trouble with the plane. They didn't leave till 5. Like he's like, I'm not making excuses, but excuses need to be talked about.
No. That's a valid excuse. That's a valid excuse.
I agree with that.
I'm looking at the past champions now. Like even when North Carolina won in 17 against Gonzaga, that was a Luke May team where he was around for 3 or 4 years or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of these inexperienced teams. They'll go far, but they'll never get it done in the championship.
I think you need that experience because once you get to the tournament, as a freshman, you really don't know how much each possession means. Like the older guys that have played through 3-4 tournaments know how much this one possession right here can impact the game, and I think that just really means a lot once you get to the Elite Eight, where it's we gotta play hard every possession because every possession means so much at this stage of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
I got a random question that I've been holding into for a couple weeks. You guys obviously at one point or another, when you were younger, in middle school, filled out brackets, right?
Yeah.
So you fill out brackets. You guys know that the 12-4 game is a big upset. If you're if you're a 4 seed and you get a 12, you're oh fuck, we're on upset alert or something.
You mean 12-5?
Yeah, 12-5.
Yeah.
At what point do you ever think about the numbers and the matchups or no?
I mean, I played in a 12-5 game last year. Richmond had the best schedule ever, or the best record ever as a 10 or 10 through 12 seed. I think is what their stat is. So we knew before we were gonna be we're in a trap. I can't believe
you guys lost that game.
If I can pick a seed, I want a 3 seed.
3 seed.
I love it.
Yeah, 3 seeds are good.
2-15's getting a little. 2 seeds getting a little. 1. Sometimes these 8-9 schools are they.
That's what I'm saying.
8-9 is you do not want to. You don't want.
No.
Yeah, you want to.
It's really tough sometimes because you play at 8-9 and you might get stuck with a team that's just super underperformed, but they're really talented.
North Carolina, Memphis.
It's Memphis almost beat Gonzaga. There was a lot of 8-9. 2. I'd rather 2-3. Definitely a 3.
I've had to take really good. 3 and 6 are the best.
Oh, I don't know
because the 11 seed. I mean, we were 11 seed last year and we won. And
a lot of 11 seeds win that.
Yeah, but even
8, 9, 7, 10 seeds those teams are scary good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. All right. Hey, Champa, did you ever figure out how to do those voicemails or no?
Yeah.
You can put them on right now.
Yeah, I just have to share my screen, I think.
All right, don't play any bad ones. Just if you couple, play 1 or 2.
All right.
Champa looks
wait for this shit.
What did you say?
You look
looks like he hasn't slept in 17 days.
I haven't.
Because of the knees?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
wait, we probably should have put people's numbers on here.
Oh, I don't know if there's any other way.
Yeah, no, let's stop there.
I don't think there's any other way to do it.
All right, let's get off.
Wait, no, we can just blur it. Just blur it on
can.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You can do it.
Yeah, we can blur it later, Champa.
Wait, no. What you have to do, Champa, is add yourself and shut off your camera.
Yeah.
So stop cam. Now play them.
All right, I gotta share the screen again, though.
No.
Well, then I can't. They won't hear it through just the computer.
All right, try to share your screen.
Can't we just blur it out?
I'm saying, just blur it out when you edit the video. You can just blur out.
Yeah, but dude, you don't get it. I'm not that good at editing.
Dude doesn't know how to do that.
That is editing 101. That is not that hard to do.
I'll figure it out.
You work at fucking a media company. How do you not know how to do that shit?
We all faked our way to get here.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a way to do it without pulling up the number.
All right, just do it. I'll fucking figure it out.
At this point, just do it.
Do it, Champa. Come on, hurry up, Champa.
All right.
How many voicemails we get?
Probably like 12, maybe.
All right, we're gonna tweet it out more.
Okay. So the first one, this one. This one's not bad.
Hey, Jordan, this is Michael, big Michigan fan, Hunter fan of yours as well. Jordan, how big of a scumbag do you feel about breaking all these records at Iowa, knowing that you had to play 6 years to break all these records? Does this just kill you to have to live with that every day, knowing that it took you 6 years to break all these records? Love the pod, boys. Keep up the good work. Go Blue.
Shout out Jordan. Go Blue.
One thing, why is it like he's calling me like personally?
What do you mean?
Like he's like, hey Jordan, like he's like calling me personally. Like this is my cell phone number.
Well, it is your cell phone number. It was a voicemail for
I know, but he's not like calling out anyone. It's only like, hey Jordan, like not hey Roundball.
He didn't say anything about me.
Yeah.
He probably didn't know I'm on it.
Anyway, I will say this: I broke the Iowa record, 3-point record in 3 years. The free throw record, obviously, that's a career thing. The Big Ten record, I had less minutes played than John Diebler, who was a 3-point Big Ten record. So in reality, I mean, it took me 6 years. Yeah.
Go fuck
assist record at Iowa, I broke in 4 years.
All right. Hey.
So I mean, other than you can argue is the Big Ten record, but I mean.
All right, give us another one.
All right. Next one. Next one's for you, Marty.
Oh, Jesus, there's a lot of stars in this one.
Marty Mush, you piece of shit. Why have you talked about Gonzaga so much for years? It's disgusting. Of course, we're frauds this year. We fucking suck. I grew up in Missoula, Montana. I've been a Zag fan my whole life. Went to Gonzaga University. Very proud of it. But the fact that you hate so much on a school of 5,000 students who are supposed to suck, who now are on the national stage, is insane. I mean, I don't know if you know, Gonzaga almost went D3 until we made the tournament and won this run. So put some respect on that school. Yeah, we suck this year, but please, knock it off.
All right, well, to answer that, that's the saddest fan I've ever heard of. You're going to say we almost went deep. You've been one of the best programs over the past, like, couple of years, and you're going to – of course I'm going to talk about you. You guys all get – you play against who JMU, the School of the Deaf, and then you play these teams that suck, and then every year you just get sucked off, but you never finish the deal. You will never win a championship. Mark Few will keep drinking, and he can't win that. You can't win those championships ever. You're never going to keep doing it. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. Is that was a sad call. I appreciate you calling me a scumbag and all, but it's just like, hey, I just feel like Gonzaga should be talked about on a national scale because you've been on the national scale. Am I wrong, boys?
He was talking about how they almost went D3 in like 1997.
Yeah, like I was 3. I don't give a fuck.
I like how he's like saying Gonzaga fucking sucks, but he's like saying they're good at the same time.
He's like basically telling me I'm right, but
he's like, we know we're supposed to suck, but we're really good.
Yeah, but we are frauds. He comes him 4 times. All right, let's do one more. Let's get out of here.
I got another one that's good, but it's long.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, pause.
This is Nick Mason. I'm calling into the podcast, leave a voicemail to talk shit to you guys, specifically Marty.
Oh, my God.
I'll start by saying I do respect every single one of you guys. Hunter, I think he talks a little too much for Michigan being where they're at. But
Fair.
I respect anybody that plays at the level that he's at. Jordan, besides the fact that it felt like he was at Iowa for fucking 10 years, being an Indiana fan and having to be there forever and go off for like 25 every time he played us. It's kind of annoying. Other than that, seems like a good dude. Marty, I respect the hell out of him for, what he does for Barstool and things like that. But I'll tell you what, Marty's takes are just off the wall fucking ridiculous. Specifically, the one that I want to argue with this dude is he's sitting here with his takes with Duke, saying, for instance, Duke gets fucking pieced by like 25 on a neutral floor against Purdue. And he sits here and he's like, oh, they're built for a deep run. They're a lock for a deep run in March. And Jordan sits here and says Indiana could beat anybody in the country or compete with anybody in the country. And we got Marty over here. Like they can't. But that's with his takes. I want to know why he says this shit about Duke like they're a lock while they're out here getting slapped by Purdue, who they deserve their ranking right now. I don't think they're going to be there all year. You know, they could be. I could be wrong. But the fact is that you can't sit here and say Duke's built for a run like this and then turn around and say Indiana's not, because it doesn't make fucking sense. So, you know, I would love to see his response on that, because to me it doesn't make sense. Other than that, I respect the hell out of all three of you guys and everybody else you guys have. Keep up the good work.
All right, I want to answer this before Marty answers. Appreciate it.
That's a great call. That
was a great call.
It was a great call.
Great call.
I'll answer it by this, Nick. It's because Marty's the most biased Duke fan of all time. That's why he makes those takes. He's biased. He knows he's biased.
Well, first of all, if we're going to take fandom out of it, Indiana has beaten Xavier, and I would keep saying names, but there's no other names that they've beaten. Duke, Ohio State, Iowa, they beat Xavier too. They played. Their two losses are Kansas and Purdue, two top 5 teams. I don't know, and you saw. I don't know, Jordan, if you saw the game against Iowa. They beat the shit out of them. This team's good. Filipowski's great. Whitehead's getting started. This team's great. And Indiana, No, I fucking love this. I love the voicemails.
You could make the argument that Duke is really good against like pretty good competition, but just can't beat the top dogs right now. Because there's a separation in how good you guys are.
Yeah, I guess we'll see when they play Virginia, because that's basically the test that they have left. UNC, if people think that, but also I want to shout out myself for being the biggest fucking asshole in the world, and I bet on Louisville against Florida State. That was
disgusting.
That was the worst game I've ever watched.
What are you doing?
I was like, they gotta have one in them. Just one.
Gotta get one.
They gotta have one in them. They had nothing. I was the only supporter. They got smoked by Florida State.
That's what I'm saying. I knew Florida State wasn't that bad. Louisville might be that bad. I knew Florida State.
They're that
might
bad.
be.
Yeah. No, they're that.
Might be. They are bad.
No, there's like
I'm saying, but like they might be like the worst team in college basketball.
Oh, I think they're 361 out of 3. Yeah.
Like I knew Florida State was like a little bit like they're better than what they're.
The separation between Florida State, like Florida State, is like
bad
shit, and Louisville is like 10 piles of shit load. Like they're the worst Power 5 team.
They might be the worst, like just
Power 5 team ever.
No, I think
them and Cal would be a battle for the ages.
Yeah, that'd be a good game. Like that's a game I'd like to watch.
You'd like to watch that shit?
I love bad basketball, dude. I love bad basketball. It's awesome to watch. All right, that's the show. Keep calling into the show. We're gonna tweet out the number. Champa will keep tweeting it out. That was awesome. Hopefully we can figure out the doxing part, but besides that, we're pretty good. Mm-hmm. And keep tweeting us what you want on the show, what not. We're gonna get guests starting again. Hopefully on when do we record again? What's today? Oh, today's so Wednesday. Hopefully. All right, that is the show. We will see you guys on Thursday.